Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today is the day before the Ryzen 2400G launches, but today is also the day that we got a humongous leak. In fact, it's probably the biggest leak that could possibly have happened for the Ryzen 2400G. And of course, that worst case leak scenario is the full-blown, no NDA attached leaking of gaming benchmarks as well as synthetic benchmarks, and this all comes courtesy of the YouTube channel Son of a Tech, which apparently ordered one of these APUs, the 2400G, from Amazon about a month ago when there was apparently a listing for it, and Amazon just sort of goofed up and sent the APU early. So during the live testing, there were several things of note that happened, and this was like a 10-hour long stream, so I haven't had a chance to pour over all of it. I was just sort of skipping around and finding some of the things that I thought were interesting, but here are a few of them, starting with the CPU side of things. Using just the Wraith Stealth cooler that came with the APU, Son of a Tech was able to get the 2400G running at 4.0 gigahertz, but he did this at 1.35 volts, so if you attach a decent cooler to this thing, you can run this thing at 4.0 gigahertz. Looks like no problem, at least from the sample that Son of a Tech got. And that all shouldn't be very surprising because this is a Ryzen processor, and Ryzen chips tend to hit a little bit of a barrier at that 4.0 gigahertz mark. But hey, with a good cooler keeping it cool, maybe a little bit of added voltage, 4.1, 4.2 may be very feasible for this chip. We'll have to see. And then of course the gaming benchmarks were interesting, and I have a few of them written down here that I found very fascinating. That first being GTA 5 at 1080p, and we don't know the exact settings for these games. GTA 5 during the built-in benchmark ran around the bottom end of things at 45 FPS, but it spent most of the benchmark in the 50 range, a little bit higher than 50 FPS, so it's definitely a playable title there. Moving on, there was Rise of the Tomb Raider, which again running the built-in benchmark had a cumulative average of 32.62 FPS in that title, and again it looked like it was definitely playable on the APU, especially if you end up overclocking the GPU side of things, which I don't think Son of a Tech was actually doing, at least on the GPU side. And then for esports lovers, there was Overwatch, which was running on the high preset, also at 1080p, running between 60 to 70 FPS. So again, definitely a playable title there. And then of course, a lot of you are wondering about PUBG, and that game ran a little bit like you might expect from an Xbox One, the original Xbox One that is. It was hovering around that 30 FPS mark, usually dipping a little bit lower. Didn't really look like a very great experience from that title on this particular chip. Now I'll go ahead and link the actual live stream down below, as well as a Forbes article that goes over some of the other highlights of the live stream. It is 10 hours long, so you may just want to sort of skip through it and see what you find in there, little nuggets of knowledge. I didn't obviously have time to go through the entire 10 hours of it. Like I said, I was skipping around a lot, so I'm sure there's some other things buried in there that I have not stumbled across and some other people may not have noticed either. Now this leak is a little bit of a big deal for consumers because it gives us a look at the processor as well as the Vega graphics before it actually hits the market, meaning once it appears on Amazon, it might not be there for a whole long time before all of them are sold out there. And if you're looking to buy one on launch day, you may not be able to wait and have time to look at the reviews that were under embargo prior to launch. So this actually gives you a chance to look at some benchmarks and see how the chip performs before you have to be sitting at your computer or running to your nearest Fry's or Micro Center to pick one of these up on launch day. It gives you a little bit of time to think about the actual processor and whether it's the upgrade that you want to be making right now. And of course, I'm hoping to get one on launch day just because I want to get my hands on one and start testing with one. But let me know in the comments down below if this changes your perception again. I know I've asked that question several times in other videos, but does this make you more confident about these APUs that are starting to come out on the Raven Ridge side of things, or does this make you want to shy away a little bit from these Ryzen APUs? Let me know down below. And of course, if you like this content, give it a like, share, subscribe, and comment. All those things are very helpful to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Hoosier Hardware. They're the same tag for your convenience. And also, as always, I'll let YouTube go ahead and queue up a couple more videos from my channel for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.